What happens when America's most talked about rookie makes one harmless choice and suddenly the internet explodes? Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA and Indiana's newest sports star, just found herself at the center of yet another firestorm. And this time, it's not about basketball, it's about a jersey. Over the weekend, Caitlin attended an Indianapolis Colts game.
So Caitlin Clark is at the Indianapolis Colts game. I'm not gonna lie, I know absolutely zero about the Indianapolis Colts, except for the fact that in Madden 2007, they had Peyton Manning, who, if you played Madden on the lowest difficulties, like 10-year-old Mick did, who knew nothing about football, you could throw 100-yard Hail Marys with Peyton Manning because his rating was so high on rookie difficulty.
And the Phoenix Mercury, that whole investigation is probably pending, allegedly, with the trade and how she got out of Indy. It was all a conspiracy.
Waving, enjoying the crowd, and doing what any celebrity in her position would do, show love to the home team. But there was one problem. She refused to wear a Colts jersey. That single decision sent Indiana fans into chaos. Comments flooded social media, accusing her of being ungrateful, disloyal, and not one of us. Others defended her fiercely, saying she has every right to rep her true team, the Kansas City Chiefs, the team she's supported since childhood. And yet, this tiny, almost trivial moment revealed something much deeper.
My main thing on this offseason is covering Caitlin Clark, going back to the roots, going back to how we got here. That's covering Caitlin and supporting her throughout her basketball journey. And that's what I will continue to do during this offseason. And, if some other headlines come in regards to WNBA stuff, I'll try to cover it. I know we got the CBA going on. We still on Kathy ass bad. And we just got to wait to see what the outcome going to be with Kathy, man. But
something raw about fandom, identity, and the impossible expectations we place on women athletes. Caitlin Clark has carried Indiana's basketball dreams on her back all season. She's brought record ratings, sold-out arenas, and endless media buzz. But one NFL jersey choice, and suddenly she's the villain again. So today, we're breaking it all down. Why this moment hit such a nerve, what it says about the WNBA's fan culture, and how Caitlin Clark's every move has become a lightning rod for controversy. Because sometimes the smallest stories tell us the biggest truths.
Every single time. Do I know who any of the receivers were? No, but they were also the highest rated team in Madden 2007. That's the only thing I know from the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not gonna lie, I don't pretend that I know anything. But the Indiana Fever were in the building. You had Ari McDonald, I think, was Tash Howard there? But you've got Caitlin was there with Connor, Ari McDonald was there with her boyfriend, I think. KK Timpson was there, and obviously Caitlin Clark.
Don't go anywhere. Let's rewind for a second. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up in Indiana out of nowhere. She's the reason the Fever are finally relevant again. After years of empty seats and ignored headlines, Caitlin brought life back to the franchise. Suddenly, Indiana became the center of women's basketball. But with that spotlight came expectations and pressure like no rookie has ever faced before. So when she stepped into Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend, fans expected her to be the ultimate hometown hero, rocking the blue and white, waving the Colts flag.
So, like I stated, Caitlin Clark went to the Indiana Colts game, the Indianapolis Colts game, broke the damn internet. I mean, everybody's talking about it. A bunch of footage came out in regards to Caitlin going to this game, and it looked like a lot of fans feel a type of way, which I don't get it. She made it public, you know what I'm saying, that she's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, which is, Kansas City Chiefs is in my home state here in Missouri. And she got every right to not wear the damn jersey.
And cementing herself as one of them. Instead, Caitlin Clark showed up in neutral colors. No Colts jersey, no logo, nothing. And instantly, the narrative turned against her. Photos started circulating online. Caitlin politely holding a Colts jersey, but not wearing it. One fan wrote, "She plays in Indiana."
Showing the number 22 jersey, not wearing it. I like that. I like that. Like as an avid Leeds United fan, like if I was going to another team's game, well, it depends. If I was ever invited to like a Barca game, I wear a Barca jersey, or make sure it's Rafinha on the back. Make sure it's Rafinha. Leeds. But yeah, I would. If there's any team in England, I don't think I'd wear the jersey. I don't think I would, and I like that. I like that as a fan. But you see here with the caption, Colts Fever in the building. They literally changed the caption.
Fans want to own her story, dictate her image, and decide how she should represent them. And Caitlyn? She's quietly saying no. Because in a league fighting for identity and respect, even something as simple as a jersey can turn into a statement. So why did this small, harmless choice become such a massive story? Because Caitlyn Clark doesn't just play in the WNBA. She defines it right now. Every glance, every comment, every outfit she wears becomes headline material. Think about it. When she scores 30 points, people say she's saving the league. When she misses a game winner, they say she's overrated. When she hugs Angel Reese, it's fake. When she doesn't, it's personal. Now, a jersey becomes a national debate about loyalty, pride, and identity. The truth is, Caitlyn Clark has become a mirror, and everyone sees what they want to see in her reflection. To her fans, she's the golden child, humble, hardworking, a role model who earned her place. To her critics, she's an overhyped media product, a symbol of privilege in a league still battling for equality. And when she doesn't play along with the emotional script fans have written for her, when she dares to be herself, people take it personally. But here's what most miss. Caitlyn's refusal to wear that jersey wasn't arrogance. It was boundaries. It was her saying, "I can love where I work without pretending to be something I'm not." That's real authenticity, not the curated kind you see in PR campaigns. Still, the backlash exposes something bigger. The double standard female athletes face every single day. Men can support whoever they want. LeBron can wear a Cowboys hat. Steph can wear a Raiders jersey. And no one blinks. But Caitlyn Clark? She does it, and suddenly she's ungrateful. This isn't just a fan reaction, it's a cultural test. Here's where it really gets messy. Because underneath this jersey drama, there's something way bigger brewing, not just among fans, but inside the WNBA itself. For months now, the league has been quietly divided over Caitlyn Clark's rise. Some players see her as the spark that finally dragged national attention back to women's basketball. Others? They see her as the face of an unfair spotlight, the rookie who gets all the cameras, all the endorsements, and all the headlines, while veterans are. Caitlyn Clark refuses a Colts jersey. She's authentic. That double standard isn't imagined. It's real, and it's one of the most uncomfortable truths in women's sports right now. But here's the irony. The very player who's accused of dividing the league might be the only one powerful enough to unite it. Because when the headlines fade and the noise dies down, the WNBA still needs Caitlyn Clark. Her presence fills arenas, her highlights flood timelines, and her story keeps people watching. The league's growth and its growing pains are tied to her every move, and that's what makes this jersey story more than just clickbait. It's a symbol of how fragile the WNBA's image has become. Let's talk about what's really happening inside Caitlyn Clark's world. The stuff fans never see. Because behind the smiles, interviews, and viral clips, there's a 22-year-old trying to navigate fame at a level the WNBA has never experienced before. Every move she makes is watched, recorded, debated. She can't even attend a football game without headlines dissecting her outfit. That's not normal pressure. That's celebrity weight. Sources close to her camp have said it for months. Caitlyn's focus has always been on basketball. She's not chasing media moments or trying to play the star. The cameras just never stop following her. So imagine being her, balancing brand expectations, media demands, fan loyalty, teammates' opinions, and still trying to grow as a player in a league where some people resent your success. She didn't ask to be the face of a movement, she became it by force. Her refusal to wear that Colts jersey? That's her quiet rebellion. Her reminder that she's still in control of her own image. But it also exposes how fragile her position is. She's expected to be perfect, relatable, humble, confident, outspoken, all at once. And one misstep, one misunderstood gesture, becomes a headline about attitude. Caitlyn Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's surviving a microscope. She's learning, painfully, that authenticity comes with consequences. Because in today's sports culture, being yourself isn't always rewarded. Sometimes it's weaponized. And for Caitlyn, a jersey she didn't wear says more about her strength than any uniform she's ever put on. This wasn't just a story about Caitlyn Clark. It was a story about the WNBA itself, a league constantly fighting to define what it stands for. The WNBA wants mainstream respect. It wants loyalty, passion, and unity. But it also wants authenticity, real personalities, not scripted smiles. And that's the impossible line Caitlin Clark is walking every single day. When she refuses to wear a Colts jersey, fans call her ungrateful. When she does something media-friendly, critics say she's manufactured. It's a lose-lose, and it exposes the bigger problem. Women athletes are still being told how to act, who to support, and when to speak. Men's sports celebrate individuality. Allen Iverson could wear whatever he wanted. It became culture. LeBron can root for the Cowboys, and nobody bats an eye. But when Caitlin Clark simply stands by her team, the Kansas City Chiefs, it becomes controversy. That's not a Caitlin problem, that's a double standard problem. It reveals that, and Caitlin Clark is the one story that proves the game isn't just being played on the court, it's being played in the culture. At the end of the day, this whole Colts jersey debate isn't really about football, it's about ownership. Who owns Caitlin Clark's image? Who decides what she represents, her or the public? Because when you strip away the noise, Caitlin's refusal to wear that jersey was a quiet declaration. I belong to no one but myself. And that's what makes her story powerful. In a world that constantly tries to shape women into what's marketable, Caitlin just chose to be real. The internet can twist that into arrogance, pride, or disloyalty. But authenticity will always make people uncomfortable, especially when it comes from a woman who refuses to bend. Caitlin Clark isn't Indiana's mascot. She's not the WNBA's savior. She's a generational athlete carving her own lane, one that doesn't need permission, validation, or a jersey to prove where she belongs. And maybe that's the lesson here. Fans can celebrate their heroes, but they don't own them. The WNBA can promote individuality, but it has to respect it too. Because if this league wants to grow, it needs to let its stars be human, messy, emotional, imperfect, real. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. She's the mirror. She's showing everyone what happens when a woman stands tall in a space that wasn't built to handle her kind of power. So whether she's rocking Chiefs red, Fever blue, or just her own colors, the message stays the same. Caitlin Clark doesn't follow the crowd, she creates it. If you believe authenticity should never be punished, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. Because this story isn't over, not even close.